Knitworthy, sharing our love of the fiber arts from the heart of the Ozarks. Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of Knitworthy Podcast. We are so glad you're here. My name is Brianne, also known as BeingBrianne on Ravelry and Instagram, and this is my gorgeous mother.
Hi, I'm Mama Linda, and my name is Stoneybrooke on Ravelry and Facebook. Oh no, not Facebook. Here I go again. Instagram.
Yes.
I'm going to start pre-recording my intro.
There you go.
Yeah. That way, the 52 takes, I can grab the one where I actually did it.
Hello, my name is Linda.
Oh, that's what I'll do. Hello, my name is, and then I'll just let you say it.
Okay. Well, that would work too.
Maybe I could do this. Like a puppet.
I like it.
Okay.
I think we should do that.
All right.
That would be hilarious.
Let's do it.
Yes. Well, today is Wednesday, June 2nd, 2014.
Did you say June 2nd?
It's July. Did I say June? It's July, people.
Hey, I get to have a birthday again.
Yay!
I get cake and presents.
Mm-hmm. And she stretched out her birthday for like a week this year. She really, really did.
People were like, oh, well, I don't think we can't really get together your birthday dinner, so we scheduled several different events, and I thought, as long as you can prolong it, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You stretch that baby out as long as you can.
Yeah.
So we're so glad that you're here. We are podcasting from the beautiful Ozarks of Missouri, and this is our home. Welcome. We're glad you're here. If this is your first time watching, yay, you found us. And if this is your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
What? Only 6. We can't go any farther.
And you know what? I'm not counting many more episodes now. Like, when we get up to like 20, 30 episodes, I'm not counting all of those. So,
sad.
That just, you don't like it when I count on air.
That's true.
Yeah, she gets bored. But you should be proud of my counting skills. But anyways, Mother.
Yes.
What is it that you're wearing today? That's beautiful.
I'm wearing a beautiful shawl that Brianne made for me.
That's why I said it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I love it.
I'm complimenting my own work.
And I normally wouldn't wear it with a shawl pin for the usually, but I just didn't want to fiddle with whether or not that was staying together. So
yeah.
But I do have to. Can I give one little shout out here?
Yeah.
I have this beautiful wooden shawl pin that I love, super smooth, and I got it at a yarn shop in Virginia as a souvenir. And I cannot find the stick that goes in it. I'm sure it'll turn up at some point.
Yeah.
But at one point, I got a blackthorn. Oh, I'm going to forget the name of it. It's the thing that those really fancy ships or airplanes are made out of.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Carbonite?
Might be.
That's not it.
It sounds good though, but it's a blackthorn needle, and I got it for making socks. It's way too short for me. Things fell off.
How on earth would you make socks with that? Are you kidding me?
I know. What was I thinking?
That's like a 2-inch needle.
I just thought I wouldn't lose track of it. I wouldn't poke myself. I don't know, but it makes a lovely
there you go.
shawl pin or shawl stick because it's so tiny. And it doesn't break because it's made out of that unbreakable stuff.
The unbreakable stuff. That's what we shall call it.
Yes.
The unbreakable stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
Thank you. I tried.
I bet Superman, if he was a knitter, he would use these.
He totally would. Yeah.
Blackthorn. So, hey, use a knitting needle if you don't have a shawl pin.
That's right. So I felt very compelled to not only wear something, but to beat you in wearing things. So she's wearing a shawl. I'm wearing a cardigan.
Oh, yeah.
You see
You
this?
show off.
Yeah. I'm not going to do this often, but because it's like wool and cotton. It's brown sheep. It's their wool cotton blend, and I really did enjoy knitting with it. This is the In Full Bloom cardigan, and this is from like a million years ago. Not really. I mean, it's really more like from like 7 or 8 years ago, because I didn't have Eilish, so it's probably probably like 8 years ago. But it had like embroidery like right across here in the magazine. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I can pull that off. So I didn't do that. And I made some other modifications. But so this is it.
I love it too. It's a beautiful color on you.
Thank you very much. It was actually the first like adult sweater that
sounds X-rated when you see that. Yeah. It's an X-rated sweater. It's live from the Ozarks. The adult sweater show.
Woo! No, but like I had knitted Owen a sweater first, and then decided that I was ready to tackle like a full-grown sweater. Mm-hmm. So I did. I tackled it.
Yeah, and it is beautiful. You did a great job.
It's held up really well over the years. So that's good. So that's what we're wearing.
Yay!
Yeah. So
it's time for gooseberries.
Gooseberries.
Oh no!
What?
I left my gooseberry jam downstairs.
Oh man.
We'll just talk about it. How about that?
That sounds like a great idea.
And you know what? I'll put a picture of my gooseberry jam in the projects at the end.
Great idea. She's a problem solver.
Well, if you've seen prior episodes, you know that my son's girlfriend, Danielle, who is really a country girl at heart and knows how to find gooseberries in the wild, she brought me a nice big bowl of them. Oh my goodness. And they were beautiful and green, and she says that's traditionally how they're picked because otherwise the animals get them all.
Right.
Tasted them while they were green, and she says you make cobblers and things like that with them while they're green. And I loved it. A very tart flavor, and but very unique. And so I put it in the fridge with all intentions of making cobbler.
Yes.
And then the days kind of got away from me and things happened. And then I was thinking, as I'm watching them, I'm looking at them every day.
Yes.
And noticing they're starting to turn red. Mm-hmm. They were actually ripening in the refrigerator.
Right.
So it was so exciting to watch them turn this beautiful, deep, and I can't even describe it because it wasn't like any kind of a berry red I've seen, but it was very beautiful, very earthy looking. Mm-hmm. And so I decided I'm not going to make a cobbler that'll be done in one day because it'd be a cobbler about the size of a hand,
That's true. There weren't a ton of berries.
No, and they really dehydrated like raisins as they were ripening, so it was like by the time it was done, but I had to actually pull stems off them. It took forever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I put them in the crock pot. I cut up an apple, put an apple with it, and some sugar. That's all I did. Well, actually, I did put a pinch of salt. Okay. Just because I thought it would enhance the flavor. Mm-hmm. And I let the crock pot cook and cook and cook. Okay.
Like for how long?
I let it cook, I would say for 5 hours.
Okay.
I just was watching it. I wanted everything to get really, I wanted all the liquids to get infused with the flavors.
Sure.
Okay?
Yes.
And so then I let it cool down overnight. Mm-hmm. And then I put it in the blender and blended it up. And now I just did I don't know if you've ever done things like this and put it in the blender, but it'll get foamy. Mm-hmm. And so I just did a few little clinks on it. If I had
pulses.
Pulses, yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually have a blender, but if you had a food machine, or what's it called? One of those...
Like a emulsion thing where you can... Like a stick kind of thing?
Yeah, one of those things that
We are such foodies around here. Can you tell?
I told Brianne...
It's the stick thing that you put in soup. A spoon? No.
I had a migraine yesterday, and I told Brianne, I'm so goofy again today. I can't think of anything. I was trying to talk to my husband this morning, and I was asking him a question, and he wanted a response back, and I was trying to think of the word. He's going, hello, is anyone there? So, pardon my slowness. The thing that chops. And so anyway, I just gave it a good chop. Then I stuck it back in the crock pot.
Yeah.
And I left the lid ajar and let it condense or thicken as the moisture evaporates. Mm-hmm. And so I had no idea what to expect on this. But I tasted it.
Yeah.
And there is no taste like it. I am such a big fan. You can't really taste the apple so much. It really just gives it some body. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit appley, but it's not like it's a butter. I would say more so than a jam or a jelly. It's more like a butter. Mm-hmm. And so it's apple gooseberry butter. Yeah. Delicious. Been having it on my breakfast toast. Highly recommend it.
Do it. Find some gooseberries and an apple. Make your own. Yeah.
But I think this is the season where a lot of things are coming into
Absolutely.
the markets. So we're not like California that gets it all year long. So, save some of your delicious things that you love.
Yes.
And, doing a jam or a butter is a really good way to enjoy it for longer.
Oh, yeah. A couple years ago, Brian and I did a whole bunch of canning, and we canned mango raspberry jam. And it was so amazing.
I think you rationed that one out. I think I got a taste on some toast or something.
Yeah, I did. I sent one to Heather. I gave one to you.
Yeah.
But, we canned it. We probably had, I don't know, 16 jars of it because we were, so in love with it. And we still have a little bit left. I think we're on our very last jar. But we're we're going to have to make some more because we're going to miss you. And our kids don't like it because it has kind of chunks of mango in it. So they're ew, and we're yes.
Yeah.
Don't eat that. It's so disgusting. You will hate that.
So enjoy the fruits of the season.
That's right. Yeah. My gooseberry for this week is it's been going around Instagram about how Casey put in where you can on Ravelry made it so that you can see what number Raveler you are. So it's kind of interesting because there are now 4 million Ravelers. And so I finally got around to doing it. And I knew that I had gotten in on Ravelry pretty early on in things, but I didn't realize how early on. And so I did it, and I was user number 211. That's crazy. So I joined in April of 2007. So there you go. And you can check your Raveler number. You go on Ravelry to your About Me page, which is your profile page. And then you press up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, and then you press enter. And it'll magically appear right underneath the date that you joined. And Mom has a picture of it. I'm going to let you put in. I emailed it to you.
Great.
So you can see. It's very cool, and you should try it and let us know.
Can we do this for the people who aren't as tech savvy? When she's saying up, down, she's talking about using the arrow keys on your keyboard.
Yes, and I will put instructions in the show notes so that you can figure out how to do it too, because it's kind of an interesting thing to see.
And I wasn't in the 200s, but I was in the thousands. I was 1,000 something.
And you were 110,000 something.
110,000.
Yeah.
I was close.
Very close. Very, very close. We're really good at math here.
Yeah, I was thinking 10% of a million originally, and then she told me there's 4 million now. Yeah. So I'm not. The numbers aren't going to get done today. No, that's okay though.
So, So let's move on to what are you knitting? That's amazing. Show me. What is it? What is this that you're knitting?
So I'll just go ahead and do my. Are you kidding me?
Are we already on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it along with this because I was knitting a Bluebell scarf.
Yes.
That Manda gave me, that pattern. Mm-hmm. Was knitting it with my Polworth hand spin that I got from Wool Sunday.
Right.
And I got about this far into it. I think I showed last week. I was just like that. And I was starting to get into the pattern more, and I'm looking at it going, you know what? This is not the right yarn for this pattern.
Tell me why.
And I think it's just because there's enough variation in it. And actually, can I give a tip now also? I'm just all about giving tips today.
Yes. It's tip day.
If you're a spinner, this was I would say a tonal braid that had variations of pinks and mauves. Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Yeah. And what I wish I would have done was either, I wish I would have done a 3-ply, or I wish I would have probably run it through a drum carder once.
Mm. Now, how did you ply it?
What I did was I split it up into probably 4 long lengths. Mm-hmm. And then I spun all of those lengths and I Navajo plied them. Mm. And originally I was thinking that the tonal part would be more subtle, and so that it would be a nice flow, but it was a little more abrupt than I intended it to be. And had I done 3 individual plies or even 2 individual plies, I would have gotten more variety to it.
It would kind of made it a little bit more like steady of a color.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think what I would really like to try next time, and the next time I get a tonal bat, I'm going to do this. I think I would have made Rolex out of it.
Oh, okay.
And done it that way. It would have just, or done the one time through the drum carder, mixed it up a little bit, and get more of an overall for this project. Okay, I think it's going to be a beautiful yarn for something. It's just not this particular one. I think I'd like to see it more without having a stitch pattern.
I have done that so many times.
Have you?
I have, where I have a beautiful yarn and I love it, and I start a project with it, and either it's too dark and the stitch pattern doesn't show, or it's just being it's too variegated, and so the stitch pattern just gets lost amongst the colors of the yarns. And so sometimes it's a challenge finding the right yarn for a pattern. I totally have experienced that.
So what I did was, I had actually put away 2 skeins to eventually do some stitch surfers, and I'm thinking, really, my brain's not in a place to do stitch surfers right now. So I just pulled out my stitch surfer yarn. I was going to do this one in a brown. This is a beautiful kind of a teal color.
That is very pretty.
It's looking a little bit more green. It's actually got a lot of blue in it. Let's see if I can find a spot where it shows. Probably not, but you can see the stitch pattern showing up lovely now. Let me see if I can pull it out a little bit. Very pretty.
That is gorgeous.
So this is going to actually show the pattern more, and I'm almost done. So I'm wondering, it doesn't make sense though that I'm almost done. It doesn't seem like it's big enough. But maybe it's one that just gets aggressively blocked, or maybe it's a lot bigger once I have to get it off the needles. So anyway, I can't even tell you what yarn this is because I didn't keep the ball band. I'm thinking I got it from Jimmy Bean's Wool online, and it's a Malabrigo maybe.
Speak to me, yarn. Tell me what you are.
She's a yarn whisperer.
I am. No, I'm not. It's not telling me anything. It's a quiet, more stoic yarn.
Well, let's put it this way. I was thinking in my head I bought either one of the Dreamin' Colors or a Malabrigo.
Okay.
Could it be in one of those?
This is Malabrigo. That could be a Malabrigo. Who knows?
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm loving this. And
That's
actually,
beautiful.
it's a really fun pattern to knit, but I'm not so used to doing these kinds of things with a lot of pattern to them. I'm usually like a garter stitch and stockinette kind of gal.
Yeah.
So I have to say that it took me a little while to get in the swing of it. Now I wanted another one just so I can feel successful and not stumble over it, but just really enjoy it.
Sure.
Because once I got the hang of it, I go, oh, this isn't hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if you ever feel like that, where it just all of a sudden clicks, you go, oh, well, of course. And then I didn't really have to watch the pattern so much because I knew what she was trying to accomplish.
Right.
And
there is that moment.
There is wonderful, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like you feel so successful.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a chart, but there's a lot of times when charts, I look at them and go, that didn't help. This was one of those times.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that it was complicated, it's just my eyes aren't used to reading charts.
Sure.
So I'm just going to take more experience. So.
Well, and doing more projects like this will help to build up your confidence.
It will.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. Obviously I want to make another one. So.
Right.
It's not wasn't a bad experience. It was wonderful.
Right.
And I'm going to love wearing this. Don't you think it's going to be fabulous?
Yes.
And I'm thinking I should make one for so-and-so for Christmas. And so anyway, very fun. Yeah. And I have my very fancy needle holder.
Yes.
I was telling Brianne before that this is a
It's just a hairband.
rubber band. But I was tired of everything falling off my needles and losing stitches. So I told her I should probably market this because it's for your hair and your knitting. How many things do both?
So maybe you sit down to start knitting and you go, oh my goodness, my hair is in my way. This is really bothering me.
Yeah.
And then you just take it off your needles and you put it in your hair and your problem is solved and you're ready to knit.
Yes.
Oh,
If you're stranded on a deserted island, you'd have a rubber band too, which would be quite useful.
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like an apocalypse thing.
Yeah.
And a handy stitch holder.
Yeah,
Just saying.
totally. You are so good.
Oh, it's also, my project is in my, I don't know how to say her name, Pokdej. Now I went to look.
Don't ask me. I have no clue.
She's an Etsy vendor. I'm not getting too close because there's a few dog hairs on it.
and by a few, she means a jillion.
Why they want to lay it by my bag, I don't know. Now, I don't see that she's making this particular style anymore, but she has a lot of beautiful fabrics, and she will do, you know how like when you get to choose what fabric you want? Very fun.
Yes.
She's doing the wedge bags now. But this one was pretty fun. Look at the interior. Isn't that adorable?
That's so cute.
She might even still have the fabric. I think I just got it earlier this year, so it hasn't been that long. But she also does the yarn clips, and there's one on each side. This was the bag I was going to use for my stitch surfer since it uses 2 yarns. I thought that'd be very handy.
Yes.
And it fits 2 skeins very nicely, so I would not hesitate. And actually, this is kind of nice too because it is right, like a wrist kind of a thing, easy to clip on somewhere.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't hesitate to recommend her bags. I'm sure her wedge bag is also nice.
Yes, and we will put a link to that in the show notes so that you can find it because we don't know how to say her name.
We don't.
But she has a great store, so go check her out.
Yeah, and do you see how she got the fabric to line up?
So smart.
Yeah.
I love attention to detail like that.
That is a great detail.
Where you can tell where they've really thought through, and to make it look as nice as possible. So nice.
Yes, and my scarf fits in it nicely.
Is that the only thing that you're knitting on right now?
That and my, I still need to finish my the Tunisian crochet.
Oh yeah, the Snapdragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that will be, I'm just like a few rows from finishing this one, so I'll probably finish this first, then I'll cake up the Julie Spence yarn and finish up the Tunisian crochet so you can see how that turned out.
Yay!
So next week, I might even wear this new shawl and I'll show you the other one.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Stay tuned.
Well, I have to say, I'll talk about what I have on my needles. I have quite a few things, but I'm going to start out with the thing that I'm working on right now, which it's July 2nd. I did it right that time. July 2nd.
But you thought about it. You
said July. I know what it is.
Oh, Hubry, you're so funny.
Totally. So, since it's now July, I get to start on my second Camp Loopy project. And I think I talked last week about what the theme is, which is basically you're making something that is 600 yards or more, and your inspiration is a place that you love, some place that you've been on vacation or some place that you've been.
Wait, a place that you love?
Uh-huh.
So your theme was me and being with me?
Yes, my theme is this chair right here.
It must be a cake and cookie shawl.
Yeah. Well, no, my inspiration is from my honeymoon when we went, we drove up and down the coast of California because that's where we lived at the time, and my honey and I, our last stop as we went up the coast was in Mendocino, which is fairly close to the Oregon border, and I found a shawl called Mendocino. I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah, you want me to show the yarn?
Yeah, that'd be
great. While you're looking it up?
Yes, please.
Oops, let's not unravel you.
Oh, thank you.
It is so beautiful. This is the skein she showed last week.
Yes. And that's Mellow Brigo sock in the Playa colorway. And playa means beach in Spanish, so I thought that was very appropriate. And it's just some blue and a little bit of brown, not like a heavy-handed brown, but it reminds me of the ocean and the sand and the cliffs, and it's just gorgeous. Yeah. So this is, hold on, there we go. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and...
I love that.
Thank you. I didn't make it. It's by Isabel Brem. And this is my Are You Kidding Me for this week. So, I know. So, I started on it yesterday morning. I got up a little bit early so I could get a head start, before the kids got too crazy. And so, I knit about, I don't know, like maybe 20 rows on it, and I was like, no, because it had you increasing only on the sides, and I didn't know how I would like that. And so I decided to modify it, because apparently I really like to modify things, into a triangular shaped shawl. And so you can kind of see it's going to end up...
Wait, so you're doing the same pattern, but you've changed it into a triangle.
Right, exactly. Okay. So instead of being more like a crescent shaped, it's going to be slightly more triangular shaped.
What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like, it was kind of pulling tight in the middle. I didn't feel like there was a lot of give in the middle, just because there were no increases there. Oh. And so I wasn't sure how, and especially since the pattern is written for one skein of sock yarn, so about 400 yards, and I need to use 600 yards, so I need something that's going to use up a little, like 200 yards more. So yeah, so that's what I ended up doing, and I'm very happy with the way it's turned out.
Wait, how does that tie in?
Because I can make it bigger, easier.
Okay. I'll need sign language and note cards today.
Bigger, easier.
That's good. One word. Now I get it.
Yeah. So that was my "Are you kidding me?" But it was luckily. Here's what I've learned from the Knit More girls, and I find this to be totally true, is they say, if you don't like something early on, you're probably not going to like it when you're done with it. If you notice an error, or if you don't like the way that something is turning out, or if you don't like a color combination, don't just go, well, it'll be fine, or it'll block out, or it'll whatever, it'll work out just fine, because chances are it's probably still going to bug you when you're done, and then you're going to have something that you don't care for. And so I knew I didn't want to get 4 or 5 days into the shawl and go, yeah, I still don't like that, because that's just wasting time.
So how far will you let a project go before you or how long do you want to give a project before you decide it's time to frog?
It depends on the project.
Okay.
Sometimes I give it a little bit more time. On one sweater that I knit, the one that you use for in my picture in the beginning of the podcast, I knew that there was a problem with the arms. And I knit both arms, or both sleeves, and then ended up, before I had seamed up before I steamed up the sweater.
Technical with us. Show off.
I just like to show you all my technical jargon.
She went to Harvard.
I totally did. Not. But anyways, before I did all the seaming, I ended up having to rip out probably 4 inches off the sleeve cap, because there was so much extra fabric, and it was just ridiculous. So sometimes I'll let things go a little bit farther than others, but it was one of those things where I was knitting the sleeve going, I don't think this is going to turn out the way I want it to.
Yeah. And
it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but luckily it was a fairly easy fix. So.
Well, good for you. Give me 5. You're so brave.
Thanks. The other things that I'm working on right now, let's see.
I see a cute bag. What?
Yeah. Oh, you want to see it? Okay.
I do.
Oh, look at how cute this is.
I love it.
Thank you. So this is from, hold on, let me find her tag, Ocean Patch Creations. And she doesn't specifically do knitting bags.
Okay.
But, or she doesn't.
Show that. That's adorable.
This is my Camp Loopy 2014 pin.
That's a fun idea too. There's a few. I've been trying to decide, because I have a Wolf Farms pin that I got from them, and I love it. And I don't know. I have it sitting, where I put my perfume, so I can look at it when I get ready in the morning.
I'm gonna smell so good. I don't know how that ties into perfume and wool.
It doesn't. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to start putting them on my bags. How fun.
I did that. I got a pin from last year.
Okay.
And so I have that on a wall, just kind of hanging up so I can see it. And it just reminds me of the fun that I had last year doing Camp Loopy. And then I just attach it onto my bags that I'm using. And it just makes it easier to identify which bag is which. So,
well, I know Dawn from Wolf Farms, she made one of those cute little stuffed monsters.
Yeah.
And she's got it behind her on her shelf, and she's got tons of buttons on it. And I saw another, I think it was Vivikins from, she does a podcast. She also does, She has an Etsy shop. She's on Instagram. I'm giving you hints.
Is that Down Under Yarn?
Yes. Ooh, you're good. But she has like a neck strap, and she's got all of her pins from people that she's collected on that.
Yeah,
that was a fun idea too.
Yeah. Well, let me show you. I have my wool Sunday bag right here.
Beautiful.
And I put her pin on there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that was. You remember? Okay. Do you remember? We had this conversation. And I was working in between the end of Camp Loopy and the beginning of Project 2. Like when I finished my project, I've been working really hard on my featherweight sweater.
Oh yeah.
And I've gotten some really good progress on it, but I really am all done with it. And so Mom was like, well, why don't you just cast on something new? I'm like, there's just one more day and I can keep on knitting on this sweater. And then I was like, why? I've done a lot of progress on this sweater, and I think I've earned a right to cast on something really fun that I want to knit right this second, because I don't do that very often. I'm very methodical with my knits, so
Me too.
Yeah. Totally. So this is, it's kind of a mess right now. I'm so sorry.
That's so beautiful.
This is the Wool Sunday in the Dark Side of the Moon colorway.
They always
look Dark Side of the Rainbow.
They always look so different when they're skeined, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay, and I see. Now I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed when these things are edited. Sometimes the color correction fixes things.
Yes, I hope it does, because I love these colors and I want for you to be able to see them.
I would say pull it up one more time.
Okay.
Because I see a little bit more teal than what I'm seeing on screen.
Right.
So if you see teal, yay.
Yes. There is green and teal and a really fun, vibrant purple and this gorgeous kind of acidy green.
Yeah,
and then little areas of black. And so I started a sock. What sock is this? I wrote it down. These are Lena's socks. And I thought, since it's such a highly variegated colorway, I want to do something to kind of show off the colors. So I'm going to show you first.
Oh my goodness. Is it hard?
No. This is a slip stitch pattern.
I want to do it.
And
look how beautiful.
It is super easy. And I'm not going to give away any secrets to the thing because that would not be fair. It's a very cheap pattern. I think it was like $2.50 for the pattern. And it's so much fun. And I think I would use this again for any of my really variegated yarns. But look at how fun the slip stitches are and how it really shows off the different colors.
Now, Brianne,
yeah,
I'm going to ask you right now. I think I'm going to get her name wrong probably, but I'll try.
Okay.
Maybe it was Grammy Knitter Bug.
Okay.
She's in her group.
Yes.
And she had asked me, how do I get a rounded toe?
Okay.
So I promised her I would get back to her, and I was trying to think, because I have, here, let's just be brave. Oh, it's dirty.
Oh, that's good.
It's beautiful.
Here, I'll show you.
Okay, I have Flintstone feet.
We basically have the same feet.
Yeah. Square. If you saw the Flintstones. So,
totally.
She asked, how do I get a more rounded toe? And what I do, I now follow the instructions from the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern. And a lot of people may not realize that if you haven't tried it, the Fish Lips Kiss heel is also tells you how to fit a sock for your foot.
Yes.
Okay, and one of the things that, and I think Brianne was already doing it, but what I learned from reading that pattern, and let me think, is that giving away a trade secret? I don't think so, because she'll tell you where, hey, spend the dollar, it's worth it.
Totally.
But if the long pattern, don't get overwhelmed, just read a little bit at a time. The actual instructions for the heel are just 2 pages.
Yeah.
The rest of it's really good information just about how to fit a sock properly.
Yeah. And several pages of it are pictures of her doing what her secret sauce is for the heels.
Step by step.
Yes. And there's also YouTube videos that you can see as well.
I preferred the video.
Did you?
I have to say, in that case, I needed to see the video to understand what she was talking about. But what I learned was I wasn't casting on enough stitches. When I'm doing toe up,
Yes.
okay, you're going to get a real pointy toe
Yes.
if you only cast on a few stitches.
Right.
So since I have a wide foot, and she'll give you the secret measurements in her pattern
It's true.
that tell you a good place to measure for how many stitches or how wide you want to have your toe cast on. So I think I will look your actual name up. I'm sorry. Today's not a good day to remember anything. Who am I?
Linda.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just anytime I forget, I'm going to look at you and go, what?
I think that you need a help sign.
I do.
Just a little one.
A little paddle.
Help.
But I would suggest that you go and pay the $1 and take a look at that. And in general, I do the same toe as most people I know that do toe-up socks, and I'm going to forget the name. I think I might do a Turkish cast on. I don't do what's the other one that everybody uses?
Jenny's Magic. No, that's surprisingly stretchy. Yeah, I know what you're talking
The
about.
other one.
Judy's Magic cast on.
I don't use Judy's Magic cast on. From doing a bazillion of those hexie puffs, I've learned that which is like making toes on
Right.
socks. I think it's the Turkish, and it's basically like a figure 8 of yarn that you start. Look it up on YouTube; it's great. But I just follow the Fish Lips Kiss toe instructions, and so more stitches means you get a more rounded toe.
Yes.
So that's my tip. Sorry it took me so long to answer, but I was trying to think of something brilliant to say. Couldn't.
That's all right. I did get a little bit of work on Brian's socks. I took them to Owen's occupational therapy and, places where, I'd be sitting and waiting for a little bit. So here's this green marker. Ugh. Let's try and fix this. Wait. Here we go. Okay. So this green marker right here, that shows where I was last week when we recorded. So I just finished up the heel. There's that Fish Lips Kiss heel. And so I added a few inches. I'm not in a big rush to get these done. They're just for when I don't want to have to think at all about anything. Although my featherweight sweater is at that point now too, and I'll show you that because I'm really happy with where I've gotten with that.
Do you sense a color theme happening?
Can I just tell you, I was totally thinking that too. Like everything I have is like some shade of blue, teal,
We shouldn't
green.
have a contest guess Brianne's favorite color, because if you say teal, you've got it.
Ta-da! Okay, so this last week I was able to take off the stitches for the sleeves.
Oh.
Which, can I just say, that is such a relief because there are so many stitches for the sleeve.
Did you time how long it took to do a row when they were all together?
No, I didn't. I should have. So here's this this marker is showing where I was at last week when we recorded, and then so I knitted this much.
What did you do the most on this week?
This sweater.
Okay.
It was like 408 stitches on the needle before I took off the sleeve stitches and put that on waist yarn. So it's a top down, and I'm gonna be brave and here, take off one sleeve. Don't get excited. That's right. So basically at this point it's just like a holder for my boob. That's kind of it. I mean, it's not anything terribly exciting to write home about, but here we go. So this is where I'm at right now, and then I'll
there's
continue.
probably kids watching, and you just said the B word.
I'm sorry. My breast. Is that any better? I don't think so. Okay, so I've just got a tiny bit of stitches right here, and then I will, when I get done with the body, then I'll do sleeves, and then you pick up around the neck and around the body, and you knit several inches of either ribbing or stockinette, so just depending on what you like. If you want,
look at that in there. It looks going to be beautiful on you.
I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it's really, it's just a lot of stockinette.
Yeah.
And so after so long of working on just this, I really felt like I needed like something with a pattern. And especially knowing that like my Mendocino shawl that I'm starting for Camp Loopy, I mean, basically like 50% of it is just garter.
Right.
That's a lot of garter. So that's why I started that sock. But I'm really pleased with the progress that I've made on this, and I want to continue to work on it because I'd like to have it finished, when I can still wear it before it, is like -15.
Although on the other hand, we run kind of warm anyway.
That's true.
So, I mean, even in the big winter storm we had this last year, I don't think I wore my coat one time. I wore my sweaters that I made.
Did you?
Yeah, it was warm enough for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not working outdoors or anything. I'm just to and from the car. So.
She's out scraping.
Yes, I'm on a road crew.
So anyways, that's the thing that I'm working on. And that's it for me for this week for that. But I'm really happy. I have some fun things.
You do?
Yes.
Beautiful. So what are you going to work on this next week?
Pretty much the only thing I'm going to work on is my Mendocino.
Okay. It's all about Camp Loopy.
It's all about Camp Loopy. I want to get that finished so that then I can work on more fun things like those Lena socks because those are so fun.
Yeah. I'm planning on starting a pair of socks. So that might be my next pair.
Yay! I think you should.
Do you know what we didn't do?
What?
What's off the needles?
We have not done that yet. I have nothing off the needles because I've been too busy working on bigger projects and casting on new ones willy-nilly because that's what I do. But you have something.
I do.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait for you to show this to people.
Okay. This is the epic saga of the felted rug.
Yes.
So on another episode, if you're not caught up, that's okay. Don't go back. I'll give you the brief synopsis, which is I had another headache day and made the stupid decision to take a hand-knitted rug that I had done with I-cord. Can you imagine how long it takes to do I-cord?
A million years.
So I did it on a loose set, so it was easier.
Yeah.
But went around and around and around and around.
Oh.
And then I crocheted it all, and it was like a 5-foot rug, would you say?
It was very large.
I mean, it was in front of our double doors. It was ample for that. That's what I made it for.
Right.
And it was all my first hand spuns.
Which honestly, that is the part that makes it heartbreaking to me.
It is,
I mean, it wasn't just like yarn that, it wasn't Cascade 220, that is easily replaced.
Yeah.
It was hand spun. And her first hand spuns.
First hand spuns and my first dyes.
Oh.
I did some Kool-Aid dyeing just for fun.
Yeah.
So, it was like very sentimental to me.
Of course.
So it came out looking like a sombrero.
Right.
Which was last week's episode. We did funny outtakes of sombrero use. But I got some great ideas, and I told you last week some of you had suggested cutting out the middle, either re-knitting it or trying to see if I could fit it back in. I'm going to include pictures of some of the process at the end so they can see the before and a couple middles and an end. But I love what I did.
I love it too.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happened when I cut the circle out of the middle, and it was done in the round, so I did have to cross a row at some point. I couldn't just keep going. First of all, I wanted to make one point. I thought about this later, and one of the cautions about felting is that not every fiber will felt the same.
Absolutely.
And so since the middle was all one kind of fiber, it's very possible that it felted differently than all the fibers used on the outside. That's one of the things. So if you're going to do a felting project, I would recommend that you choose one kind of wool to do that with, so that you don't risk what I had happen, which was the uneven felting. So, I mean, bad enough that it's felted. It was felted originally, but just lightly felted.
Right.
But now, it was like, actually, I'm going to show you, as I thought this would be interesting. From my fix that I did, I only have this much left. I used every other bit. Now, for as far off as it was, that's kind of surprising to me.
Right.
But I wanted to show you how thick this thing is.
That is, probably half of an inch thick?
I would say. And Brianne, can you feel how firm it is?
Yeah.
So there's no chance this is coming unraveled, or it is really a sturdy piece. So you can really, if you want to, and like I say, this was just I-cord that was crocheted together. I don't mean I crocheted with the I-cord. I did a single crochet to join the layers of I-cord as I went around.
Right.
Okay? And so it creates a really nice, if you want a really nice thick piece, this will do it. Okay? But what I did was, when I took the middle and cut it, I realized that I still had formed a bowl. It was dry.
Right.
And if you shape felted pieces, usually what you do is you will put them over something that is the shape that you're trying to accomplish, either like a bowl or a box.
Sure.
And so this had felted to the shape of the sombrero.
It really did look like one.
Yeah, and it's felted so firmly now that it's really not wanting to do anything else.
Right.
So I could probably throw it in the washer again and probably be fine, but I'm not going to try it.
She's done it once, people. She's not doing it again.
So when I tried to flatten the middle, once I had cut it, and I trimmed off this piece, I went around and I figured by pushing it down, I guessed it was about this far off. I trimmed the complete circle going around, and then I tried squishing that down, and it just would not stay. I realized I was going to have to do something more. So what I did was...
Oh, it's like a necklace.
It is like a necklace.
Yeah.
So pretend that my head is the sombrero, and this is the middle of the sombrero. I took and made 4 cuts, one to here, one in the middle, and one on each side, and one in the back. Okay?
Yes.
That gave me equivalent to darts in the thing.
Right.
Okay, that looked like little pie-shaped wedges. We'll show in the picture at the end. So then I took these pieces and I cut a wedge shape like that.
Yeah.
Measuring how long I needed, and then I whip stitch it together. I have a bunch of felting wool anyway, because I like to do felt from time to time. And so I don't mean felting wool, I would say felting yarn.
Yes.
2 different things.
Yes.
So I whip stitched it together. Then, if it had just been the one ring around, I don't think it would have been noticeable, but whip stitching 4 pie-shaped pieces into it, it was going to be too noticeable. So I remembered that I had some, when we had Simply Fibers, there was a lady who did custom dyed wool for rug hooking. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
And she would hand draw these beautiful patterns for rug hooking that were phenomenal.
Yeah,
it
was beautiful.
So gorgeous.
And I actually have a rug hooking hoop, and I've connected with a rug hooking group, and at some point I plan on doing that, but this isn't a good time for it, but I'm ready. But I had purchased some wool for another project that I was trying, and so I still had these wool pieces.
Yeah.
So I decided that I was going to adorn the rug, so that all of the little cut and paste pieces wouldn't show.
That's such a brilliant idea.
Okay. So I am so happy with it. You ready?
Would you like for me to help hold it up? So
I would love for you to help throw it up. I need a drum roll.
I don't want to throw it up. I'd like to hold it up.
Don't throw up.
No.
Okay, drum roll, please.
Yes.
And here it is. Now you can tell me, can you see?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's just come forward a little bit. So what I did was I cut out leaf shapes and flower shapes. These parts in here are crocheted freeform branches that I made, and they have just been hand stitched onto this. I did this freeform. I don't know. All these flowers have no name, but I love them. So now I have a much smaller rug. It is laying completely flat.
Yes, it is.
And the last step to getting it flat, in case you have a question, I'm gonna hold it like this. I just want to wear it. It's so beautiful.
It's like a blanket now too.
But
that's gorgeous.
The last step that I did was I have a heavy stool. So last night I dampened it a little bit. I wanted to block it basically. I dampened it a little bit in the middle, put a towel down, and put the stool down upside down on top of it, just to make sure it would lay nice and flat. So I love it. It's going to have a happy place in my home, and I like it better than when I started.
You sound like Sally O'Malley from...
I love it!
I love it!
Oh, they're going to really wonder now. Sally O'Malley.
Oh.
She's 50 and she loves life.
And
it's
she
Molly
wears,
Shannon that plays the part. She wears this bright red jumper.
Oh yeah, and is like skin tight.
And she sits. When she sits, she kicks her leg way up. I can't do it.
No.
But imagine I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Google Sally O'Malley.
So funny.
Yeah.
And she's 50.
She's 50. But also, I loved when Betty White did the one with her. And
yeah.
Betty White did a mirror image character. And
That's
she says,
right.
I'm 90.
That's right.
I mean, is she 90 or is she?
She's pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting too wild. Boy, when my head's gone, there's no controlling me.
I'm using words like the other B word. Yeah. Boobs.
Oh! Was I there for that part?
You
I don't
were.
remember. You don't use B words.
No, I don't. Not that one. I'm showing off like a bare arm.
You are.
It's getting racy around here, people.
Woo. Yeah, if this is their first podcast, they're going to wonder, what have we gotten ourselves into? Sorry.
That's all right.
It's one of those days.
That's right. Well, now we're on to Gilding the Lily. This is the segment of the show where we talk about how wonderful our stash is and perfect and how we don't really need to add anything to it, but yet we still do.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah.
Yes.
Every time that catches me by surprise. Yes.
It shouldn't. We've talked about it quite often.
I know.
What do you mean we shouldn't be adding to it?
And this is why she can show me my Christmas present and give it to me, and I'm still surprised.
It's the best thing ever. I get to get that look on her face twice a year. You know what I should do? I should bring it out once a month and be like, look, Mom, I made these for you for Christmas. Yay!
It just adds to my joy that many times over.
I'm so adding that to my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, Mom, did you enhance your stash this week?
I did, and with a purpose. I spoke last week that I had ordered some, I think it's called Colombian from Eternity Ranch. Right here, Tammy. She's in our group. And this is another find from our, where we get to meet different people that have Etsy shops. Please leave your Etsy shop information.
Yeah. Mom started a thread that is specifically for people who are, indie dyers or sewers or
and I would like to keep it knitting related or spinning or anything fiber related. I don't want to really know.
If you make handmade shoes, maybe don't do that one.
Probably not appropriate unless it's made out of fiber.
That's true. Okay, so show us that beautiful fiber.
Yeah. So what I loved about it was that it was very intensely colored.
That is some very saturated colors.
Yes. And I thought, I don't think I've ever dyed anything in this color. Never spun anything in this color. And never spun Colombian, which I am going to look it up. I meant to do it for the podcast so I could, maybe when I show it spun. But I do notice that is a bit coarse, coarser than super soft merino, which most everything is. Cashmere and Kiviot are softer, but I think it's going to spin fabulously. I can tell by how it is handling that it is going to love being spun. So I'm very excited about that.
Do you think it's going to spin fine or thick?
I really think it could go very fine, but I don't know that I want to spin it very fine. What I want to do is probably, I might try and spin it this week, but I want to think about what I want to use it for before I spin it so that I'm spinning for a project. I don't know. Feel it. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I can see how you would say that it's a little bit more coarse. But it's not it wouldn't be uncomfortable against the skin at all.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't make a cowl or something out of this, but I think it'd make a lovely hat. I wonder, it could even be beautiful socks. But Tammy, if you have used this yarn for something, I think you should share when we open up the thread for this podcast. Would you share what you have used this type of yarn for? And I don't know, yarn, this type of fiber. I wonder, it could be from her sheep. It's possible.
Do you have sheep?
Tell us about some. Tammy, I'm tired of talking, so I think it's your turn. Tell us about Put it in the thread and let us know, are they from your sheep?
Sure.
What have you made from this yarn? And give me some ideas because I want to make sure I like to spin. Sometimes I spin just for fun, but I would really like to spin this for a purpose because I want it to be some of these. I love the colors. Beautiful.
You know, that could be some really fun little felted French press slippers.
It could. That could be really pretty.
It's not superwash, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's see. On Etsy, she's Eternity Ranch Knits. Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
All right.
All right.
So that's going to be very fun. Thank you, Tammy, for sharing.
Yay.
I have one last thing.
Okay.
So
bring it on.
You know, I'm getting so many projects on the needles here. I'm this close to finishing my Snapdragon, Bluebell, I mean. I am the final edging to be done on the Tunisian crochet one, which is the Snapdragon.
Right.
And I really want to do, did you get the picture for me? You just thought you can't do that?
No, I did.
Okay. I picked out a pattern.
Por favor.
And I want to show you the pattern, and then I want to show you the yarn that I'm thinking of for it, and I want some feedback.
Do you know the name of the pattern?
It's called Nostalgia. I think I wrote it right here.
Oh, I'm not going to fall on you.
It's Nostalgia Shawl by Elena, Nodel. Nodel or Nodel?
I would say Nodel.
Nodel.
I could be wrong.
Do you see the beautiful swaths of color that she's got going? And there's some really beautiful projects in, if you go and take a look at the Nostalgia Shawl, people have used different colorways and created some really, I just thought that was such an interesting concept.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can do it. I'm a little scared.
You can do it.
It's not garter stitch, not stockinette, so we'll see.
You can do it. You're big and you're brave. You know what? You're bigger than your knitting.
What?
You are smarter than your knitting.
I think she just called me fat.
I did not.
All right, this is from, so what I got for the primary color to start with was Julie Spins, and this is from her Unclub. But she might also have some in her shop. She has stuff in her shop now. I'm so excited.
Yay. Are you having a love affair with Julie Spins?
Don't tell her, but I am madly in love with her.
Oh my goodness. I can tell.
So this is Raisin.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Now what I'm hoping you can see is the interplay of colors. There's some burgundies. There's some like olive greens. There's a little bit of gold, and there's some stony colors. I just love it. Okay, so the one I chose to go with it, this is the one I'm questioning. Now, I love this yarn, so it's going to be something. It's not that I don't love it. I love it, but I'm trying to decide if I love it for this shawl. Okay. So see, it's got the golds and the purples. It brings that out. So together, this is the question. There was another skein that was more predominantly in the golds. So the question is, should I have picked out the golds, or is the purple the right choice? What do you think? Do you like these together?
She's waiting for you to answer people. I don't think she's waiting for me.
I am asking them, and I don't hear a blessed thing.
You guys.
So hopefully I'm really wanting to hear your feedback.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I have not had a lot of experience with this. Now, Brianne, because I know they're going to want to know what you think.
Yes.
Do you think that these work?
Well, okay.
For that shawl.
Here's what I like. I like that you have like the purple kind of, it's hard to tell right here. See that purple right there? And then you've got like the darker purples right here. And then you have a little bit of like a muted, like a dark gold right here. And then you have, you know, the gold like right here. So I think that those could work really well together. I'm afraid that if you get yarns that are too close together in color, that you're not going to get that. It's all going to meld together. And I don't know if you really want that, or if you want it to be a little bit more diverse in color.
Well, that's the question I'm having in my mind.
Yeah.
Because originally I picked out, I was going to get the same green that I got for the Tunisian shawl and do that green with it.
Yeah.
But then I thought, you know, I don't need every shawl to be the same.
No.
That's kind of silly.
No, it's not as fun that way.
Yeah. And so I thought I don't have any, as far as I remember, I don't have any shawls in the purple.
Right.
I may have one Catherine's wheel. That's a scarf. That's not a shawl.
Right.
So I may have one, but no, I don't.
Okay.
Don't hold me to it, though.
I'm holding you to it.
But love this yarn. I mean,
It's beautiful.
This purple colorway, if you love it, is called Carnation. I found about 52 that I wanted of hers.
That's all.
Between her and Peggy, I'm going to be broke.
That's all right.
You dyers.
You stop it now, but really don't, please.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. I gilded the lily this week because I did.
Can someone give me a coffee? I need one.
I found a new dyer on Etsy, and I don't know if I'm her first sale or what. She didn't have any reviews, and
you're a wild woman.
I know. And then I went to go put the yarn into Ravelry, and there was no listing.
You got
for
to put her in Ravelry.
I did. It's not my first time doing it, but it's
Really?
an honor every time. I take it very
what a
seriously.
shock! This first one.
Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna be like, Brianne bought that? What?
That's really outside her comfort zone.
I know. So this is from. It's my colors. Come on now.
You're
Don't give me a
fabulous.
hard time.
I totally love it.
It's from a dyer called Freshwater Pearls Yarn, and she's out of Michigan. So all of her yarns are like kind of Michigan based, at least the ones that I've seen so far. So this one is called Cloudy Day at the Great Lakes.
Aw.
Yeah, and see, it's got a little bit of white and a light gray, and then this really fun, kind of tonal greenish teal color. And
Okay, now, do you call that teal, or is that starting to get into aqua?
no, I think that's probably more aqua.
It's beautiful.
Yes. And that was really fun. And so this is Hope, and she is also a watcher of the podcast, which was very fun.
Hey.
And I left her a message saying that I was really excited to be able to talk about her yarn on our podcast, and she sent me a note. And she said, let's see. Thank you so much for your order. I had just discovered your podcast a few days ago and have been catching up when I saw you'd been to the shop. I've included another skein of yarn, mostly because I love that you and your mom are podcasting together and letting knitters like me get to know you both. You can choose to keep the skein for yourselves or give it away, whatever is fine with me. You guys have provided me with hours of entertainment, so it's the least I can do. Thank you again, Hope. Hope, you are a sweetheart.
Thanks, Hope.
Yay! So
Yay.
let me show you this beautiful skein of yarn, and I cannot tell you how much I wanted to keep it for myself. Like, I really, really wanted to keep this for myself.
Let's see it.
Look at that beautiful purple color. This color is called Wine Tasting. Oh, yeah. Oh,
That
yeah.
could work too.
She's got another skein of this in her shop. Just saying.
I think I kind of broke the bank on this last purchase. So I'll
Yeah.
be purchasing for a while.
So this one is called Wine Tasting, and it's pretty much exactly what you see there. I mean, the color is
lovely.
really true.
Can I touch it?
Of course you may. Yes.
Oh, it feels fabulous.
Yes, it does.
What is it? What's the makeup?
It's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So that'll
460 yards.
Yeah.
So that's a nice size hank.
Yes. So what we are going to do is we are going to save this for a future giveaway because we want you guys to be able to experience Hope's beautiful yarn. So this will be for our future contest. And speaking of contests,
Oh, that's a good segue.
thank you very much. I planned that. I'm not gonna lie. So we had a contest going. We wanted to be able to give away a skein of yarn when our Ravelry group reached 150 members. And guess where we are at? We are at 155 as of this morning.
Are we really?
We are. And so
That happened faster than I expected.
it did, yeah. So we have this beautiful skein of yarn that Sam.
forgot about
I know.
Oh.
I want to keep it too, but she said we had to give it away. Sam, I have 4 skeins of her yarn to knit up, so it's not like I'm really missing out on anything, but still, I love the colors.
But you know what? Sometimes we have to let our babies fly.
It's
Be
true.
free.
We can't own all the yarn in the world, although I wish I could. So this is from Wool Sunday Yarn Parlor. Oh, there you go. On Etsy. And that's Sam RW on Ravelry. And this is a beautiful skein. It's her waffle bowl, which is a bulky weight, which is 80% superwash merino, 25% 20% nylon. You can't make 100% with 80 and 25, just in case you're wondering.
It's not a good day for math around here.
No, it's not.
I'm number 1,000. You mean 100,000? 100,000.
And this is her plunderful colorway, and that is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
And I'm so glad that this is going to be able to be sent off to one of you, our
How
wonderful.
many yards?
It is 82 yards.
Okay, so how do we enter?
So here's the deal. I'm going to pick this up because I want to read. So let's see. We're opening a thread in our group, and we want you to post a picture of your favorite thing about the place that you live and tell us about it. So find a picture, you can find it online or you can take it yourself, of something about where you live. We share with you pictures of
postcards from the Ozarks.
That's right. We share with you things that we love about living in the Ozarks and the Branson area. So we want to see about where you live and get to have you share with us something about your location. In order to be eligible to win, you must be a member of the group. You can only enter once. You can send us as many pictures as you want. Just keep it in the same posting. The thread will be locked on Tuesday, July 29th. And the winner will be chosen by random number generator. So we want to give you, everybody a chance to have, to be able to enter.
Yeah.
So we're going to let this contest, their giveaway, go for a little bit longer than we have in our previous one, just because sometimes it takes people a couple weeks to be able to watch a show.
I mean, people don't just stay current like the minute we post
They
something.
do not refresh their screen waiting for us. It's okay.
Shock.
I'm behind on certain podcasts
And
too,
can I say that part of the reason why we went this direction with things is there are so many knit along and spin along things happening. There's the I'm going to forget the name of all of them.
Stash Dash.
Thanks, Stash Dash. There's the spinning one.
Tour de Fleece.
And I know from listening to other podcasts, they've got, there's the Martina Bem knit along and different ones that are going on.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking that I hate to add another to-do list to somebody. So, one of the fun things about summer is taking pictures of places that you love. And sometimes some of us, I don't think we're going away this summer. I don't know, are you?
We're going to try and plan maybe like a 3-day thing. But we're not going to do anything really huge.
Yeah, I don't think we have any plans actually to get away because the way, anytime it's a busy season for our business, we have to hang around.
Right.
So I thought it'd be fun. A lot of us can do staycations.
Right.
And so home is a fun place to be sometimes, and we have to be reminded of all the fun things are in your area. Absolutely. And you know what? Even if the fun thing's going to McDonald's and getting ice cream cone, take a picture.
That's right. Let's move on to It's a Good Thing, shall we?
Sure.
Yes. My thing for It's a Good Thing is I looked at our iTunes review. We have one more iTunes review, so that makes 3, and we have 6-star ratings.
Really?
So I loved seeing that, and that made me really happy. And we'd love for you guys to leave comments on the YouTube videos.
Why? Can you tell why?
Well, it's just fun for us, first of all, but also when you leave reviews on iTunes or star ratings, then that helps us to be able to be found easier when people type in Knitting Podcast. Or
so we're not on page 359. We maybe get closer to the top.
Right. Well, and it just makes us a little bit more visible to people. And it's sometimes like weeding through all the knitting podcasts can be a little bit difficult.
From personal experience, same issue.
Right. So that's why we would like for you to do that. Plus, it just totally makes my day. I was like reading them to my kids. I'm like, listen to what people had to say about our podcast, kids. And they're like, okay, Mom. Ooh, she's a little crazy. So that's my good thing for this week. Do you have a good thing?
I do.
Okay.
Actually, I wanted to do a shout out to Hot Pink Socks Reviews. And I think she did an invitation to me a while back.
She did?
I think it was actually before I started podcasting.
Oh, really?
I think so. And she has a blog where she will do like a review of patterns or whatever, and sometimes there's a contest that she'll do, or sometimes there's discount coupon. But I would recommend that you all sign up for her blog. Actually has a group on Ravelry too, where she will post a link to whatever she's reviewing.
Yes.
And it's a good way to, introduce yourself to someone new, but who doesn't like a coupon?
Right.
Okay, so like this week, she was doing Chicken Soup Designs, who does bags.
Yes.
Could you believe how cheap those bags were?
They were very affordable, and
I should say affordable. That makes it sound bad to say cheap.
They're not cheap. They're well made and they're very affordable, and lots of different prints, and which I thought was really fun to be able to look through, and different sizes. And she had where you could get a set with like a knitting bag and then also a notions bag, which is a great idea.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing a really large project, you could you keep those things together and have your cute little matching sets.
Yeah, I mean, it was super affordable. I'm not remembering the price off the top of my head.
Right.
But 20% off for already
10%.
10%. 100% off.
No, it's not. Don't listen to her. Remember the math. We're not good at it.
What a day I'm having.
Maybe that's the name for this podcast. 100% off.
But check out what is her? Did I write down what her
group name is? Hot Pink Socks.
Yeah, Hot Pink Socks. So that's the good place to go and get the real scoop.
And every week she does a review and also a giveaway. So you have a chance to get something for free, which, hello, I like free things. And
she does a really good job of reviewing whatever she's doing too. So, and I'm not sure, but I think she's might be updating in our thread as far as when she updates her blog.
I believe so. I think she put one in there.
That's really helpful to me because I lose track and I don't use the RSS readers or anything. No. So
we have one. I just don't use it.
Yeah, I have one too, and I don't use it either. That. So and so it's really helpful if she does do that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But join it and hey, get a coupon and enjoy fun things.
Yes. Well, is that it for us this week?
Let me look. Do you have anything else? Oh, I wanted to just let you know that this week you get to follow me home on the postcards from the Ozarks.
Oh, that's exciting.
And it is basically some things that I notice on the road home. And I think you're going to really like it. I loved it.
Yay.
And we're going to keep that coming. We got some good feedback on that. So, yay.
All right. Well, is that it?
That's it.
That is it. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and I hope you had fun knitting while we were talking and knitting ourselves, and we just really appreciate you guys and all your wonderful feedback and the fact that you actually talk with us.
Yeah.
We love that.
I love it.
Continue. We appreciate it, and we'll be back next week. But until then, remember that you are knitworthy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. Psalms 139:16.
That's